Hello everyone, welcome back. I thought I would do another quick video on fake Pokemon cards, this time showing you the difference for some of the higher quality copies of fakes. So here I have two beautiful Gardevoirs, except one of them is not real. Now on camera they're actually both showing up pretty nicely, but when I take these out of their sleeves, now this one is the real one, so this one actually is inner sleeved, which might change the texture just a little bit, but if I bring them both close up, I'm hoping that you can see that this one has a very uniform shine straight across the image. This one, on the other hand, has a little bit more texture to it. So if you can see down the bottom, this part here is very shiny. This part here is very shiny. And they've put some detail in the fact that they haven't foiled out the text box. Now that in and of itself is not necessarily the best way to be able to tell whether or not it's a fake or not. But on this one, there is a lot of quality that has gone into varying the amount of shine, what has been chosen to be foiled on the card. Like the top of Gardevoir is not actually foiled, whereas this one here is a very straight shine straight across the card. It is quite pretty, I'll definitely give it that. Looking at the back of it, these ones are a little bit harder to tell when it comes to comparing the colours, purely because they put more effort into these ones. So these ones, like, not trying to cast shade, but are probably intended to fool people who are actually trying to pay real money for a really expensive card. So for these ones, if we go back to the light test I showed you in the last video, and I'll turn this on off camera just so that it's not blinding anybody. This one, oh, I should probably take that out of the sleeve so I can actually show you. I use side loaders. I know that a lot of people, oh, no, this one, yeah. I use side loaders. I know that a lot of people don't really love these because they don't create a seal around the card when they're put into another sleeve. I use them purely because I get very annoyed trying to get incorrectly fitted inner sleeves into another sleeve, but that's a rant. So this one here, you can't see my light passing through the card at all. Like I showed you in one of the other videos, this is because there's a core inside this card. Whereas on this one here, you can actually see, let me try to tilt that, my torch. So that tells me that there is probably something inside this card that is diffusing my color into like that bluey tinge, but it's definitely not high enough quality to compare to a real card. The other thing with these ones is they are, again, not correctly fitted. They do, this is really hard to show off, they do look like they're the right size, but holding it in my hands, I can feel that these two things do not actually fit together properly. I also noticed that these ones just bend straight up. They're not very high quality. Like normal real foils will absolutely bend, don't get me wrong. That typically happens when they're exposed to any kind of moisture. They'll start to curl, but normally these will curl this way, inwards, and these ones are curling outwards. I'm not really sure why. Probably the type of foiling that's there. There's a couple of other things. The edge of these, not sure if you can see that. There's this sort of upturned lip over here. That is generally a side of bad trimming. So cheap trimming has happened around the edge of this card. So I can show you a couple more examples of this. Whoop, that is not the same card. Here we go. So this is my real pretty red Gyarados, and this is a fake copy of that exact same Gyarados. So if I grab this one out of the sleeve as well, you can see that the same thing has happened here with the foiling. This one has a bit of effort that's gone into it in terms of what has been chosen to be foiled. The EX up here is all nice and gold. Oops, so is that one. But that one has a uniform foiling straight across it. So the gold hasn't been picked out to be foiled. It's just shiny because the whole thing is shiny. Whereas this one is not. There we go. Yep. It's pretty hard to catch in the light, but Gyarados, very shiny boy. So yeah, I just wanted to show you what some of the higher quality copies look like. I think these ones are a little bit, this one specifically is a bit easier to tell because the colors are quite different. But you wouldn't know that unless you actually had a copy of Gyarados already to be able to stand next to your potential fake to be able to tell. So I wanted to give you some tips that didn't require you to already own the card that you're looking at. These ones, I think personally, are a lot more difficult to tell purely because the fake in my hand is quite vibrant and very pretty. But the fact that, yeah, there's not a huge amount of care that's gone into making this card. Yeah. And the fact that it is foiled straight across the entire card in the exact same finish tells me immediately that that's not a Pokemon card. Pokemon do a whole different range of foilings for their cards. They do lots of very pretty and creative things when it comes to making, especially their full art foils. But when you look at them, you can tell that quite a bit of care went into planning out what they were going to foil, how they were going to foil it. The ones that are foil from top to bottom, everything in the picture is shiny, typically have these nice textures all over them that you can actually feel when you're holding the card. All right, well, thank you very much as always. One thing I was going to say is I do actually have a couple of fake Magic the Gathering cards. So if anybody would be interested in seeing me do a comparison of these and show off how to tell with a Magic the Gathering card, please leave a comment down below. Thank you and happy collecting.